Thank you very much for listening and stopping by the Random Green Podcast. Today, I wanted to discuss a matter of strategy games. Yes, strategy games. Now, there are plenty of strategy games out there in the world, and like I say, it's one of those things where I like strategy games, but I'm not really good at it. And frankly, when I play a game, I want the game kind of set up. And with a strategy game, you kind of have to, you probably already know this, you have to, figure things out, and there's a lot of complex things to do with the game if you want to, say, start up, for example, Factoria. That's a game I have on Steam. It's a really good game, and it's very popular. But it's one of those games where you have to really figure it out. You can't just start. You have to do some tutorials, and you have to basically go on YouTube or something like that to actually get some help. Maybe that's not the case for you if you're listening to this podcast. That you don't have to think about. Maybe you are very successful at that. Maybe you podcast. If our strategy games are you're a natural at them, and that's certainly the case with a lot of individuals. Is that they're the games strategy, or no matter what, they can figure it out. There's a lot of channels out there, again, that I've mentioned, that a lot of gaming channels that can figure games out, and they can do it really well. It takes really no thought to. It's like second nature to them. It's one of those things where I wish I could figure the game out, and I can't. I can't figure some of these games out. It's like this. Even if I try it 100 times, it's just I'm not the best at it. You know, it would be nice to figure the game out. It would be uh, great, and sometimes I can, not in every situation I'm able to. It's one of those things where, boy, you think I'm a lover of games. You think I'd be able to figure out strategy games. Now I'm more into sport games. I wish but there's some times where I guess in the past I think I played some strategy games, and I was decent at it. And I'm thinking, well, how the heck did I figure it out? It doesn't. It's just kind of odd that way, where I'm able to figure out a strategy game, but and maybe it just depends on the game. Maybe that's all it comes down to. Like the strategy games they're very fun. They're very intriguing, and you know, I guess it takes a little time. That's one thing about it, is that certain individuals, they can be on one game, and that's really all you can do. Is you can just basically, when it comes down to it, is it takes patience, and a lot of times in this world we don't have patience, and when it comes down to it, we need patience with games. We need to have fun, or we need to have patience, and in turn, it'll be fun to play these games. I really like, I really truly like strategy games, but it just doesn't seem like, again, I can be successful. Maybe it's because I just don't have confidence. Maybe that's what I need to do, is to start to have more confidence in the game. If I look at it and examine it, maybe I can look for ways to start from scratch, or start in a way where I'm able to do something. Because a lot of these strategy games, it seems like if you start into it, you have to start right. Because if you don't, it's just like anything else. If you don't, if the first step is wrong, then obviously the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh steps are going to be wrong. But it's really true when it comes to strategy games, is that if you start off with something, you're stuck with it, and you can't go back and do it unless you start a new game. And that's one of those things. I wish I could get a little better at the games, and I really like strategy games, but with the work schedule that I have, where I'm working and I work full time, it's not like I can just uh, it's not like I just play whenever. There's certain things where I just can't do. It takes time. It takes a while to get to figuring out a game, especially strategy games.